All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Star Ladder Season 14, where we've got a best of three Luminosity versus Threes Up tonight. First map will be Cobble, picked by Luminosity, of course. I'm alongside Dust tonight. How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. Cool to see some Counter-Strike. As, of course, we've had a long week of North American Counter-Strike and more on the way, and here's just a little bit more online to get in between the LAN events, so pretty cool stuff.
Indeed.
Surprised Luminosity's still alive after this last venture.
You know, best of three is the best format, Dust. And they had to play a lot of them, didn't they?
Indeed, they did.
They're very well-versed in the best format for LANs.
Yeah, unfortunately, they fell out of that tournament a little bit earlier than I had hoped. I think they lost to, Renegades in the lower bracket finals, taking third place, so...
Yeah, that series is actually pretty crazy if you watched it. The 10 straight rounds in a row from Luminosity, then nearly like 16 in a row from Renegades to come back and win it. I think they closed it out like 16-12 or something. And that was on Dust 2, which we won't see tonight.
We will not. Luminosity banning Dust 2 and Cash. Pretty smart bans against Threes Up, I think, especially given the fact that Luminosity does struggle with Cash at times. So good banning phase there from them. Threes Up got rid of Mirage and Overpass, which that's probably the two best bans they could have hoped for. I think Inferno is also a map you probably don't want to play Luminosity on, but their map pool is pretty deep these days. I feel like really the only map that Luminosity still has some issue on is probably Cash, and I guess they don't play Train a lot, so that could be one other one you point to, but for the most part, they've really done well. I think that's one of the biggest things they've done this year, besides obviously adding some firepower with Cold and moving Fallen into a position where he could have more of an impact, is they've increased their map pool. You know, they've been able to, work on this map, Cobble, for instance, which was not one they were known for, and now they play it quite well, so... that's certainly good news for that team going forward.
Yeah, another good news for Luminosity is even if Threes Up is able to take Cobble or Train, I mean, maybe they get both, but surely no one is coming in expecting that. That third map is Inferno, and of course Luminosity is one of the best teams in the NA scene, probably even around on that Inferno.
Yeah. I would certainly say that that's probably the case. You think about the other teams, CLG, Liquid, Cloud9, all usually favor banning Inferno, so they're kind of one of the teams that still embrace it and play it and have been successful on it, and that will be the third map if we need be. But we start on Cobble, which is in fact Luminosity's pick.
People have to stab each other first.
Yeah, they do. We have to figure out the sides. But, Cobble, of course, a map that, again, Luminosity's, worked on pretty well. We saw them with some recent wins against all the NA teams and online and iBuyPower play, iBuyPower Cup play, that is, and... very rarely have they dropped this map lately.
It's also the only map they played on the main stage at the last major, I do believe. So experience on this map in some high-pressure situations as we see the conclusion of this 9th round with Bolts and Cold still standing. So that means Luminosity will win. And what will they will stay on the CT side, which is pretty common, even though this map can lean a bit T-favored, I think.
Yeah, I think it's always good to start CT side just because it's easier to force buy for a comeback on Terror side if you
get
need
your aim
to.
warmed up as well, just holding those angles.
Definitely still worthwhile doing. So we will. That and Luminosity actually does have a pretty solid CT side. Fallen's op can be very effective on this map, and then you have Cold locking down B, Fer locking down A, so they can still put up a pretty good amount of rounds on the CT side on this map.
All right, well, here we go into the pistol round. Luminosity, CT side, Threes Up, T side. I haven't seen Threes Up play in a while, I got to be honest. I casted them at the start of where we normally cast over at SEVO, and I was pretty impressed with them. They were playing pretty close to some of the better teams in the league. Obviously, some roster changes, someone like Wabbit coming up in the scene, and this guy's pretty crazy, so we'll keep an eye on him. But what we got? 3 Kevlars for both teams. Utility will be on Fallen and Arya, and I guess Fer with a little bit of it as well, so we'll see how they use that. Fer has already thrown one of those smokes, and this is pretty common these days, so you see that you're expecting someone to work through the one-way, and Fer is taking some damage from that, and he'll back off.
Yeah, it took a little bit of heat, but able to get away nonetheless, and they will back off to the side, so that'll kind of deny some information on what's going on at long and mid-room, so they can't really know, so it's really hard for them to rotate too heavy, but Bolt has already cheated over, and Steel Fallen and Cold already all in the B bomb site, but seems like that bomb is drifting towards A. Arya, locked in place, and he will eventually probably flank Skyfall and try to get in the connector, but it's going to be a mid-A hit, and only Fer is here, but Bolt's starting to come over now.
All right, well, Wabbit, he's run up that CT slope. He's all the way behind the car. Bolts. Actually, it's Fur who falls first. Bolts dropping off the balcony, was only able to get one. There's Jason R. and Wabbit chiming in. Cold just whiffing some shots. Somehow does connect onto Jason R., but it's too late. All of his team is dead. 3 of 3s up, survive, and they win that pistol round. So a good start for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, Luminosity really putting their focus there on Skyfall and the B bomb site, which kind of left her a little bit vulnerable on the A side. And Three's up able to take full advantage of that and cut off the connector rotate from really being able to have any chance at a retake. So that's a good start for Three's up. They are the underdogs coming into this. And I'm not sure if a win here would really help them or not, to be honest, in advancing. I know Luminosity will pretty much already has secured an advancement to the bracket stage of this qualifier, but I think Three's up might be out no matter what. There could be a chance at a tiebreaker and still getting through.
Yeah, there's a chance that maybe it could go to I think they break them on round difference.
Right, so there's some hope for Three's
up.
Up.
If 3 teams are tied at 1-2, there's maybe a chance, but it seems unlikely.
They got to play for that hope anyway. Also, it's good practice.
Well, they could play to upset as well, right? Like maybe they just really hate Luminosity and want to ruin their chances going forward. Let's see. Arya has already fallen. Steel got the kill with the shotgun here on the anti-eco round for Three's up. They've now evened it to a 4-on-4, but Fur going to get another one, and maybe, yeah, he does find 2 with the CZ, and Steel his second with the shotgun, and they actually close it out. Steel 3 kills, $900 a piece. Stack that cash dust.
Indeed. I mean, it's always tough winning pistol and losing the second round like that. I don't think Three's up will be forced to, double save territory, but they will have to choose whether or not they want to force up and see if they can't reset Luminosity's economy, or if they just kind of want to sit back. And you can see that they haven't invested too much. They pick up a couple of Tech 9s, or actually 3 Tech 9s, but no armor. So they're not fully diving into this one here, but trying to give themselves a little bit of something to work with as they gather up over here in the B lobby. Already taken a little bit of nade damage there onto A, but not a whole lot. As it seems like this is where they would like to go. Just waiting for that smoke to fade as they begin to gather up. But there's plenty of Luminosity members here. In fact, doubling up on Skyfall. Even going to try to jump peek, it looks like, with this auto shotgun.
Well, just the pump. But, yeah, good idea. Jumping with the shotgun. Accurate enough. Although, it doesn't work out maybe as well as they had hoped. There's another shotgun. The Mag 7 from Fallen, who is on the back of the B platform. This nade going into that window of drop could hurt. Arya's down pretty low. Bolts has found a kill with the Mac 10. So all the kills here going to the shotguns and the Mac 10, so a lot of extra money coming into Luminosity on the CT side. Will they even upgrade here? They got to know that Three's up is not going to be able to put together that strong of a round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of a forced situation from Three's up, and they won't even go too heavy into it. Well, yeah, never mind. They just went ahead and fully invested into it. But it's still, like you said, pretty light buy, so certainly good to keep what they have. And that Mag 7 can still be put to use at Skyfall, very, very well. So it's not as if it's even a burden to hold on to it, as we do see Three's up trying to attack this mid room anyhow, just trying to force themselves through the nades, but they're taking so much damage.
And Bolts is the one player I was concerned about. He's got the weakest weapon on the field, I think, when it comes to dealing with players with armor and AKs, is that Mac 10. But even he does find one. Now Cold is going to just have to hope on a mistake, or if Steel can buy some time. Cold just nestled in there in the back of the A site. It's Steel who's now jumped off the balcony with that AK. Going to try to disrupt the forward progress of Three's up, and he has done it. He finds a kill onto Wabbit. Jason R, though, not going to let him get too much, but there it is. Cold, headshot. $900 again. Now 2-on-2. Fallen gets him backpedaling. That's the bomb down too. Arya's got he's got a big job ahead of him.
He'll get caught there by Fallen, and just perfect timing there between Cold and Steel working together, making sure that Cold didn't give up his spot too early there hiding in the back of the A-bomb site. And then even after he got the kill, there's really no way to flush him out, so we could just keep holding that position, just keep allowing Steel and Fallen to catch anyone crossing into the site, and they dealt with that quite efficiently. And so Three's up. Again, they haven't gotten a full buy yet this game. They're still trying to force up something here. A couple of armors, a smoke, and a flash. Not really sure. Hopefully they have some type of plan, because that was, I think, kind of a waste of money at this point to get like a couple of guys on armor, a couple of guys not. Very little utility. So
you're only
I guess we're just going to rush Skyfall.
You're only going to get $2,900 coming in as well. So those people that went in for armor won't be able to rebound really into much, but here's a round that started off pretty nice for them until Bolt, playing from Rock, stops Rabbit. Oh, if that smoke didn't go, probably would have found Abe as well. And ends up finding another one anyways through the smoke. Abe, though, just waiting for Fur to run by, takes him out with a nice headshot, but Abe's left alone. Man back in KFC has fallen with the op, and you can see Bolts playing on the site, and he'll just get it done himself. He finds Abe at 3K for Bolts, and it's 4-1. 3Zup's money is still, all right, it's decent here.
Yeah, but this still didn't make any sense. Like, you know, they didn't really have a high chance to win that round. It was kind of a mixed buy. Only like a couple of guys grabbed armor. Only 3 Tech 9s were in play. If you just would have saved there, you would have had Professor Chaos fully decked out, plus you would have had your op on Labbit for the first time. And they still had pretty low utility in a couple of their players. So I think that last round was just kind of a worthless investment, and even makes it kind of tight for them this round when it really shouldn't have been. It should have been a comfortable full buy, and looks like they are once again kind of testing the waters over here at B to begin with. They already have Jason and company kind of creep out that smoke and getting on the long B platform. And hopefully they can get Labbit out there. He can be a guy to open up the site with that op.
Man, Luminosity really liking the boost inside of drop. Here's Bolts from sight. He finds 2 again. He has been on fire. He might even get a 3rd. Had those 2 lined up. Thought he could bring home 4. But now it's just 3Zup. 2 members alive. Call them 2s up. I'll stop. I won't make that one anymore. Fallen and Fur closing out the round. It's 5-1.
Yeah, just too easy there for Luminosity. That's the first round Labbit has a chance to take a crack at something with the op, but he got eliminated before he even got a chance to fire off a shot. Big hold there from Bolts to really just deny 3Zup any type of entries onto the site. They got held up for a while. Rotate sets in at that point. You're pretty much toast, and 3Zup now again. I mean, they're hitting max loss bonus at this point, so this doesn't hurt too bad, but they're going to take the Tech 9s and armor and see what they can accomplish. Once again, charging into this mid room. Fur has backed off to give it up, and he's actually got caught falling back, only getting 1 frag in the process, but the rotate is coming in, and so far still dealing with it okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to flash. They're not going to push through, though. That's still slowing them down a bit. And Fallen holding here on Stables, waiting for him to come up. Takes down Abe. That was the bomb as well, so now 3Zup have to move forward. I guess they're just going to try to find the frags, and Arya is running like a turkey with his head cut off when he gets out of that smoke, then gets his head cut off.
Isn't it usually chickens that would do that?
I think turkeys might as well, but yeah, you're totally right. It is chickens. I don't know. It's almost Thanksgiving, Dust. Come on.
Trying to get in the holiday spirit.
Trying to get in the spirit.
I got you, man.
You know, I'm thankful for my co-casters.
Maybe they just kind of overdo it on this map with chickens. You know, there's chickens running around. There's a chicken coop. Like, I mean, I can understand you got to give the turkey some love.
I mean KFC, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what the cool kids are calling it these days.
All right. I think that's just you. So
no, everyone did it at Sevo Land, so thank you for that.
Sure you had something to do with that.
I did. There was another thing. There was a story that I shall never tell anybody. Henry G would kill me. But cold. Headshot onto Jason R. And look at that. The bomb just rolls down the stairs. So CTs have that under control.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate tumble of the bomb.
Yep.
Granted, it was already kind of a dead round, but we'll see if Labbit can find something. He's on that long B platform. He's got the op. We know that he can put some shots in, and Arya's also found a pick, so they're playing back into this a little bit now.
Yeah, 2-on-2. HP advantage is going to be big for Luminosity. They've also got utility if they need to use it, and now they've got a crossfire onto one man who's Arya as he peeks out to kill the man at Rock. Fur is there behind him. 7-1. 3Zup got the pistol round. Thought like, hey, maybe they'll get 3 rounds. No, not the case. They made some. I mean, they lost that anti-eco round. Then they made some random and I think bad economic decisions, and they're in a really rough spot.
Yeah, now, you know, in this round where, you know, they only have a couple of guys on Tech 9s and they're bought down quite low. Again, they're on max loss bonus, but next round, it's still not going to be a comfortable buy. You're still probably going to have some guys on Galil's if you want to afford armor and utility. And so this is kind of a hole that they've dug themselves, and they're just, you know, continuing to creep further and further into it. And now they're trying to hit B. This time, Fallen's op is going to be at Chicken Coop, so a little bit of a change here from Luminosity to how they want to defend it, which gives 3Zup a different look that they're not prepared for. And they're just getting crushed right now once again over here on the B side.
I would be terrified to go B against a team like Luminosity. You have Fallen, one of the best oppers in the scene in North America, and definitely on some top 5, top 10 lists of oppers overall in the scene right now. And you have Cold playing on this site. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, Fallen does move around a bit. Sometimes you'll find him at mid and A, but yeah, like you said, Cold. You know, he's been big, and look at Bolt. He's been putting up numbers
Bolts
this game as well.
Has been insane, and he's also on the B site.
So that's
and
pretty
he
much
comes
that.
in with the. I think we're calling the Steph Curry now to be a little more current.
I feel like you're just you know, throwing darts out there hoping to land something.
Why not?
You know, I mean, it's
someone,
worth it. It's
someone
worth
in
a shot.
chat will have appreciated that.
I think I've actually seen people spamming Curry before.
Yeah,
in
they
chat,
have.
so.
People do. So it's like it's kind of.
So you're not alone.
I don't really know anything about basketball though. I just know that's a player.
Indeed.
I play
Another Tech 9 around
Real
here for
Sports,
Breezo.
Dust, Counter-Strike, Dota 2, StarCraft. Maybe you've heard of
Table
them.
tennis.
Table tennis, yeah. God, I love table tennis. Professor Chaos, he has got a kill, and I've said his name. I was actually really excited to see Professor Chaos playing, and then he came in with his name wrong. I didn't even realize it was him.
Still in this round.
So far, he hasn't really dazzled us. Here, though, man advantage for threes up. Oh, and Bolts is so low. He pulls out the Tech 9. He will go down in threes up with the Tech 9 rush. It finally works out, but that's not really a sustainable practice to find your rounds. Let's see what happens in the rifle round here.
Exactly. I mean, that was really just key that Aria was able to kind of catch some people trying to force themselves through a smoke at the doors. And just, being up close to the Tech 9, able to rattle it off and get some really key frags there to prevent that retake from unfolding. So, well done by him. I put second round on the board here for threes up, and now they're back to a full buy, but they need to be concerned about that money being reset. There's a lot of guys on this team really low on money, like Jason and Professor Cass, for example, and even Arya's not sitting too pretty. So, I mean, they could get right back into tough economic ways if they can't figure out a way to win this one. As Fur does push through that smoke, and Wabbit has not caught onto it, finally does. Good kill to get there, gets them an instant 5 versus 4, and see if they can use that advantage to secure another round.
Yeah, surprisingly that Fur does that all alone. Like, not any support from anyone at long A. Not that they really could have managed it since threes up kind of took over long A pretty early into the round. And look at Arya finding a headshot just through the smoke. It's Bolts. So Cold at the cannon, and it will once again be Steel rotating off of the balcony. Will have to distract and allow Cold to strike. But this time Steel getting shut down, so Cold's position should be checked. He still gets 2, drops the bomb. There's Professor Chaos, but falling with the op shot. 1 versus 2. We got Abe over in the connector, so he's in the key position right now for threes up success. Should just be able to walk right over Fallen, but Fallen kind of expecting it. You saw him checking it, but it's not enough.
Yeah, good plays there. Everyone kind of chipped in on that one. I think the only person who didn't get a frag was Jason. I mean, Arya, Wabbit, Abe, all with 1. I think Professor Cass with 2. Just being able to, trade efficiently over on that ace eye, catching Steel on the rotate, being able to get Cold down, though Cold did make that a bit dangerous there for a second. But being able to box and fall in there at the end was exactly what they needed. Finally actually forced Luminosity onto a save. And in a couple of rounds in a row, they finally were able to get themselves an easier round, so to speak, as we will see Abe playing alone once again on the B side, just trying to keep people's attention over there, as we do see the rest of threes up, staging up over here at long A, clearing their corners and beginning to work themselves on this A side again.
Oh, Fur with the ominous deagle. Will it find the headshots that Luminosity will need for this round? And he's been forced to back off already, just not willing to hold that angle. And Arya jumping, spotting up, but Fur connects 1, threes up. Oh no, this could be disaster for threes up. Yeah, not like this. We're going to be overusing that. Bolts with a deagle as well is certainly the new kid on the block in terms of the pistols in CSGO. And wow, that actually kind of hurt to watch.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, and now threes up money will be reset. They had to do some rebuying as well since they got put into a 2 versus 1 against Fallen when they secured their last victory. And so that means that you're going to see, Professor Chaos here with just a Tech 9. Jason doesn't have anything. He finally picks up an AK, but so low on utility. His threes up. They don't have a whole lot of nades to work with here, which means they can't really throw a lot of fakes or do a lot of complex stuff. They just have to try to hit something together. And when you got a guy on just a Tech 9, that can be quite dangerous. So this is looking a little bit rough here for threes up as Wabbit using that op at mid, looking for any more aggression, not finding any.
And they've just been pushed off of everything. Threes up, they were detained at drop by smokes and Molotovs, the mid room by smokes and then Molotovs, and now that they have dropped in, Steel took 1 of them out, might find a second, but no, he actually jumps into Abe, who takes him out, but there's Cold, not going to let Abe out of the drop room. And so much utility for Luminosity.
Yeah, good trading there inside the drop room to prevent threes up from getting some control to use to try to split this B side as well. Just, getting a man advantage as well. This is pretty much forcing everyone to play through long B without any second angle onto the site. And you got Fallen's op sitting at Chicken Coop, who probably gets at least 1 free kill out of this initial cross. And this is going to be really tough for threes up to play out of.
Oh, auto director, there it goes. Seemed to be very interested in Fur walking around, but here's Fallen down from KFC, finds Wabbit, moves over to the site, so going to keep them guessing. And now Chaos is coming out with an op, so you know that he's just going to be looking at KFC. Now they find Jason R behind the statue. He peeks out, actually does leg Fallen, but Cold waiting for him on the side of the rectangle. Chaos down, and Luminosity up to 10 rounds.
Yeah, and I mean that's just threes up caught in a tight spot, right? They don't really have the utility to force Fallen out of position, so really their only hope is to just try to outpick them. And you know they sent a couple of guys out there the out to try to do that, and they just couldn't. Fallen just hitting some really nice shots there, and that kills the round for threes up. Now Luminosity up 10-3, and threes up forced to basically save for last. They will get a couple of great pistols, but look at Fur. He just moved right into the Dragon Lore room without being detected and catches 8 for free. Gonna find Professor Chaos as well. Oh my god, he's just causing so much damage. He gets 3 before he goes out.
Oh, Abbott hits the one dig. Is that what they need? Is that the little nudge this round in morale that they needed? Just land a one dig, and he does have armor, so he picks up the AK, but unfortunately Arya just going to walk straight into the crosshair of Bolt, who is kind of holding a close off angle. So that leaves Wabbit alone, 1 versus 3, and the Ops are looking for him, and that's Fallen, of course, so you know it's going to be dangerous. Wabbit's now been spotted. He's going to try to get that smoke out to cross. Has been flashed up by a Luminosity player on the slope there. I think that was, who was that, Bolts? Yeah, Bolts has now gone down. And, oh, my internet is, can you hear me still, Dust?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Internet took a quick little dive, so hopefully the stream is still all right.
Yeah, nice attempt there from Wabbit using the smoke to block Fallen off to get a one-on-one with Bolts on the slope, and he won that battle, but there was a flank setting in from Long A. Couldn't take down Fallen either in the end, so that's a tough break there from threes up as Luminosity just continues to stack up their lead, and now even on the final round of the half, still threes up. Don't have a whole lot to work with here. Pretty much got forced into forcing just to get rounds, and this is usually a map that sways a bit T-sided, and Luminosity is on the brink of putting up 12 rounds from the CT side, so this does not look really good at all for threes up at this point. So we'll see if they can take this last one, but oh, nope, Hardy getting
not
shot
looking
down.
too good.
Well.
And Abe even helped them out. He actually killed Jason R with fire.
If you're going to kill it, you got to kill it with fire, man, just like spiders.
Exactly. I forgot I left music on again. I gotta stop doing this. I actually don't really.
do.
I don't really mind it. I have it on pretty soft, and it's only for like a few things.
But the 5,470 other people might.
It's kind of nice at halftime. I'm not gonna lie. Also, do you think when you jump into a server and the team you're playing has like the badge or the coin from the major that it intimidates them? Because I feel like that would intimidate me.
I feel like chat is trolling us right now. All I hear is where the casters go unmute, but I checked the stream and I could hear myself.
We're good,
talking,
right?
so.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
like, don't play with my heart like that.
Yeah, no. As we are on the pistol round here, on the first round, the second half, and Fallen,
Fallen.
and Fur just storming up the mid slope and already get the opening 2 kills. Now they're pushing and catching the rotate as well. Yeah, this is nasty.
Wow, the CTs were set up like dominoes for Fallen, and he was just the thing that started it all
I see
off.
what you did there. Fallen dominoes.
I wasn't even going for that. It's just he killed someone. I think someone actually killed the first person, who then he took that P2K, and then he just ran like through 3 people and killed all of them.
Holy Mac 10's Batman.
The room brooms.
You're just
And
I
the
mean, you
shop
got all
vac.
these terms. You're just trying to force through, man.
Room brooms and the shop vac.
Shop vac.
I don't know. That was the sawed off, but
Oh, okay.
why not? And the sawed off, of course. I mean, do you give the popularization of that gun to JW for this map?
I don't know.
Kind of have to, right? I mean, it's certainly good from both sides. Obviously, you can't buy one on CT side, but you get what I mean. Shotguns in the drop room from either T or CT perspective, they can be pretty crazy. But it is a 3-on-3. Ooh, until Abe goes flying. And Wabbit brought down to 7 HP. They know where he is, but wow! That was
nice
a
shot.
that was a 1 dig.
Indeed. Cannot challenge that point, as we are going to see Luminosity can still clear out the round as Fur catches Wabbit nice and quickly, just hopping around with these Mac 10s, going to force Jason R to try to turn that sawed off that he
Pushing
picked
it.
up.
Oh! Little does he know, that actually would have worked so well, but you can't really fault him for that.
Indeed. And I mean, those kind of threes up last chance right there. Now, I mean, they have to force up what they can, of course, to prevent Luminosity from getting that point, but I mean, all they can really hope for is for some sick deagle shots, which we've seen a couple players from both teams hit some nice ones, but now they all have to work at the same time for threes up.
None of threes up sick deagle shots have converted into a round win, though.
That's true.
Which is the problem. And I don't know what that was, Dust. But I don't think it bodes well for threes up and their position of having 3 rounds to Luminosity's.
Spoiler alert.
14. Professor Chaos. There's another nice deagle shot. But he's taken out now in the murder hole. as Semler calls it. Perfect name for that.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the other murder hole on Mirage.
Yeah, pretty much.
When you're trying to rotate as a CT into terrorists who have complete control of A, that is also a murder hole.
So Fallen to get the bomb down. Arya looks like he's creeping up into the A site from the slope, and he's actually taken down by Fallen as well. He grabs a 3K on the round. It's 15-3. It's not looking good.
No, not at all. Can't really see Threes Up winning 12 rounds in a row to force an ET from this position. As you know,
You want another one of my terms?
Okay.
I like to call this Threes Up needs to go to rehab because it's a 12-step program if they want to bring this into OT. Yes.
That was actually so bad I had to take a brief moment.
So bad. Whatever, dude. You don't even get it.
I get it.
All right, here's Bolts just flying out. AK. Firing bullets. Wabbit caught one of them with his face. Bolts another one onto Abe, and Bolt's just going to keep on moving forward. Is it going to go for the ace here? I mean, there's a chance. Both these guys are in drop. Bolts is here to deal with it, and they're just about to get Zeused. Did he get Zeused to 3 HP?
I thought that was like a one-tap kill in that kind of range situation. Must have been just far
No one else
enough
shot, dude. He got shot in the foot from like max Zeus distance and actually just lived there and aced. Did that do damage? LOL, Jason R is asking. Wow,
Not
dude.
even give him satisfaction.
I think that sums up the game for Threes Up. Like, you just Zeus someone and they didn't die. How could you have ever won? You know?
I don't know. That was definitely not much to pick from that game. I mean, it was just Threes Up couldn't do anything.
They got to a really bad start in their T side, having won the pistol, lost, and then
I mean, obviously losing the second round was huge. Getting the money reset there. I think they also got their money reset at one other point in the half. They also did have kind of a questionable force buy at one point, which set them up for another pretty terrible buy in the next round. And it wasn't even a point in the game where they had to like force. Like, I mean, they were down like 5-1 or something like that, and they still chose to do like a mixed buy, which set them up for another mixed buy in the next round. And I don't know, there was a couple of questionable situations there, but on the whole, even if you take away that one like mispurchase, so to speak, they really just couldn't get past Fallen Zomp at B. You know, Fur and company were playing well enough at A to make sure that couldn't get taken consistently either. And I mean, when you get limited to 3 rounds on your T side on a map like this, that one of the few maps that kind of favors the terrorist side on many occasions, you're making it really hard on yourself. And then they lose pistol in the second half, and at that point, it's pretty much done.
Indeed. So that is map 1. Map 2 will be Train, picked by Threes Up, and if they happen to take that one, it will go to Inferno as the third map. So stay tuned here on twitch.tv/StarLadder_CS_EN for more Star Ladder Season 14 action. Myself, Helium, and Dust will be back in just a little bit, so stay tuned.